Hey, what's good, football fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and also hit the thumbs up down below on this video. All right, so another week has come and gone in the world of college football, so we only got a couple weeks left in the regular season. And so, what I'll be doing today is giving my college football playoff bracket after week 14. And so, we got the conference championship games that's coming up later this week. And we'll see how things turn out. All right, so without further ado, this was one wild and crazy week in college football. Rivalry week definitely did not disappoint, that is for sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give my bracket, but first, I'm going to give my first four teams that are out. So my first four out is South Carolina, Iowa State, Alabama, and Clemson. So Alabama, I think, still has an outside shot, but they need a lot of cards to fall their way. Same way with South Carolina. South Carolina, they're playing at a very high level right now. They just beat Clemson yesterday. And as I said before, you can't help but wonder what might have been had they not lost to Ole Miss, had they not lost to LSU, had they not lost to Alabama. Would they be in the conversation for the SEC and for the playoffs? Which they are still in the conversation as far as an at-large bid. Iowa State, the only reason why I have Iowa State in this position is because of the fact that they do play Arizona State in the Big 12 title game. But for them, that's the only chance they have as far as getting into the playoffs is to win the Big 12. And same way with Clemson in the ACC. So despite losing to South Carolina yesterday, Clemson, because of Miami losing to Syracuse, Clemson will now play SMU in the ACC championship game. So, but they have to win that game if they want to go to the playoffs. And then my next four out, I have UNLV. So UNLV will face Boise State in the Mountain West championship game, and they're slowly creeping up the rankings. And if they were to upset Boise State, then they could possibly sneak in and take that Group of Five playoff spot. And then Army and Tulane, same thing with them. They play each other this week in the American Conference. Even though Tulane lost this past week to Memphis, they're still kind of alive, I guess you could say. And then Texas A&M, I mean, their hopes are gone. So they lost to Texas last night at home. That was their fourth loss and third conference loss of the season. They are without a doubt out of the playoffs now. And so here is my first four, my automatic, the first round buys rather. So I still have Oregon at number one. Oregon, they beat Washington last night to complete the undefeated regular season. They will face Penn State in the Big Ten championship game. I still got Texas at number two. They went on the road to beat A&M, and they will face Georgia in the SEC championship game. This is a rematch from earlier in the season. And then I still got SMU at number three. SMU, they completed the undefeated season in conference play, that is, by beating Cal yesterday. And then I still have Arizona State at number four. So we'll see what happens this week in the conference championship games. And so let's go ahead and do the first round here. I actually have Miami at number 12. So Miami, if SMU beats Clemson, I think Miami is in the playoffs. If Clemson wins, then Miami is out. I still think SMU is a playoff team, but regardless of whether or not they lose. But if SMU wins, then Miami is in. But if Clemson wins, Miami is out. And so we'll see what happens this week. But I have Miami at number 12. And then I have moved Boise State up to 11. They will face UNLV in the Mountain West game. And so if they win this game, then they are locked in. They will clinch that Group of Five playoff spot. Number 10, I have got Ohio State. So for the majority of the season, I've had Ohio State either at number 1 or number 5 seed. yesterday's loss to Michigan was not a good look. Now, I still think Ohio State is going to be in the playoffs, but I mean that's sad because you had a chance to go to the Big Ten championship to face Oregon in a rematch, and you lost at home to one of the worst Michigan teams that we've seen in quite some time. I mean that's inexcusable if you're Ohio State. And so number 9, I have Indiana, and so Indiana, they beat their rival Purdue pretty handily. They have now locked themselves into the playoffs. I got Indiana at 9. I got Tennessee at 8. I thought Tennessee might be on upset alert when they went on the road to Vanderbilt yesterday. And so, but Tennessee, they took care of business quite handily versus the Commodores. Number 7, I have Georgia. So Georgia has also basically locked themselves into the playoffs, whether they win or lose to Texas in the SEC title game. They had a thrilling victory at home versus their in-state rival, Georgia Tech. And so we'll see what happens going forward. Obviously, whoever wins this game will get a first-round bye. And then number 6, I have Notre Dame. So Notre Dame, they have locked themselves into the college football playoff as well. They had a big win against USC. That game was actually close for a while. It actually was not. It was a lot closer than what the score showed. So the Irish, despite having that loss to Northern Illinois early in the season, they have really turned things around. And so I got Notre Dame at number 6. And then number 5, I have Penn State. So because of Ohio State losing and Penn State winning, Penn State will now face Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. And so we'll see what happens. But that is my playoff bracket after week 14. What does your bracket look like? Who do you think should be in? Who do you think should be out? Who do you think should be seated? Let me know down below in the comments section, guys. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.